Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am reviewing my Utopia of the Seas inaugural sailing for 3 nights. So this was my very first inaugural sailing, my first time on a brand new cruise ship. I was super excited for this cruise. This is a very unique experience, something that I've been building towards on this channel, so I was really excited to step on board. How did the cruise go? What did I think about Utopia of the Seas, especially considering I've sailed on almost all the other sister ships in the Oasis class up to this point? Let's find out. If you love cruise content like this, if you love this video, please give us a like, hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out, and we're going to have a lot more cruise content in the future. And if you found this video because you are researching your own cruise on Utopia of the Seas, let me plan it. Reach out to Mark Jackson at jacksonjetsetting.com, and I can give you a free quote. Now, Utopia of the Seas' inaugural sailing was a little bit different in the pre-cruise arena because normally I like to plan out as much as I can in advance, both to save money and to know what I can expect once I get on board. Now, there are a number of new experiences on board, and we didn't have all of the details up front. The main one being the Royal Railway, which is a very low capacity but really cool brand new experience on board. Now, I grabbed the key on this voyage because I wanted to try and get a reservation on the Royal Railway. They weren't opening up reservations in advance. I had heard rumors that maybe they were going to do that, but they never actually did. So I wanted to be with the Pinnacles and the Suite guests and try and get that coveted reservation. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the reservation, though I was able to walk through the Royal Railway. That is one thing I would say is if you are coming on board soon, definitely book that well in advance. All the future sailings you actually can book on the website or the app, just like any other normal specialty dining. So just keep that in mind. My sailing was a little bit different because of the chaos of a new ship. Plus, they only had one railway going. They still were working out the kinks on the other one. So overall, a little bit of a bummer there, though I did run and grab a reservation at the Omakase in Izumi as soon as I realized that the Royal Railway wasn't going to happen. And the Omakase is only a 6-person dining experience. They only have 2 seatings each evening, so it's very exclusive as well. A little bit more expensive, but I think a little bit better food. Embarkation day comes, so this is sailing out of Port Canaveral. I didn't know how chaotic it was going to be, it being the very first cruise, but also the global IT shutdown was happening the night before and the day of. Luckily, I flew in well early. I was there, 24 hours before all of the IT issues started popping up. So luckily, I was already in Orlando. Didn't miss my cruise, though. A lot of people actually ended up missing the cruise, which is really sad for them. That just is like such a crazy scenario. But getting on board was really easy. I got there super early, so I waited in line for them to open up, and it was very organized. Since I had the key, I was able to have my own line. Security was super easy, and I ended up waiting maybe 10 or 15 minutes. One really cool thing, because this is the world's biggest weekend, and they want to get really party-friendly atmosphere going on, is they had a live DJ in the lobby of the waiting area to get on board, which was really cool. But then getting on board, it was as easy as ever. You get on board, finally you step off the gangway and you're on deck, and then boom, there was gifts, and then there were free champagne, which I kind of expected, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it's the first cruise, so they are celebrating, and the atmosphere was awesome. Everyone was super excited to be on board. No one really, besides some people that might have been on the media cruise, had never been on board before, so that was really fun. Now, I did have the key, so I did want to check out the embarkation day lunch that I get as a part of actually booking that, but the Windjammer has an awesome inaugural sailing brunch that actually is the first couple cruises, but they have seafood, they have filet on the Windjammer, which is very rare. So I wanted to go check that out, and I wasn't disappointed. Loved my lobster little appetizer before I went down to the main dining room for my key lunch. Key lunch was similar to my other sailings. Good little filet, good way to start the cruise and wait for that stateroom to open up. The stateroom itself, very run-of-the-mill balcony. That's not a bad thing. No real surprises there. They didn't really iterate too much, I don't think, between like the Wonder that I was just on and Utopia of the Seas. So overall, the staterooms are great, and I just recommend people book the stateroom that they really want. If you want an ocean view, get an ocean view. possibly a balcony if you've never cruised before. I think that's like kind of the best experience you can get. For me, I love getting on board, and I like an inside cabin sometimes, and sometimes I like a balcony. Now, our itinerary is pretty similar to other weekend cruises from all brands. You're going to go to Nassau from Port Canaveral, and then you're going to go to a private island, and Royal Caribbean's is Coco Cay. Coco Cay is one of the best private islands out there. They have plunked a whole bunch of money into this. They have an awesome thrill water park, one of the best water parks anywhere. They have the Hideaway Beach, which is the adults only area that opened up earlier this year, alongside the new Icon of the Seas. They have the Oasis Lagoon, which is included in your visit. They have some special upcharge areas like the Coco Beach Club, which is what I actually ended up doing this sailing because I have never done it before. Ultimately, I paid about $70 for my experience. Here, it includes a lobster and steak lunch and a private pool, and also like a nice private beach area. The Coco Beach Club sort of was a letdown to me only because I've been to the Hideaway Beach Club on an earlier cruise, which is brand new, and I think just a much better area. Now, the Coco Beach Club's beach is much better than Hideaway Beach. Hideaway Beach kind of has like a man-made feel to it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you actually have the real ocean in front of you in Coco Beach Club. But the pool itself, not bad, but doesn't have a swim-up bar, which the Hideaway Beach Club does, and so does the Oasis Lagoon. So that, to me, I think is like pretty crucial for your day on shore. But overall, don't let that detract from your experience on board the cruise ship. And there are plenty of free activities here on Coco Cay for you to do. Plenty of beach chairs. We had 2 ships in port with us. There were plenty of beach chairs everywhere, though maybe not front row. People tend to spread out too, especially around lunchtime. Some people start going back to the ship, so there's a lot of time on shore here. I really love perfect day at Coco Cay. Nassau, I gotta say, has grown on me. It's still not my favorite island to visit. I typically stay on board, and I did today, but there's a lot of things to do. You can check out some of my other videos on the channel for some of the water park activities that you can do, like at the Atlantis Aquaventure or Baja Bay at Baja Mar, which is one of the newer opportunities. And then walking distance from the ship, the Margaritaville water park is pretty nice as well and a lot cheaper than the other 2 options. So check out those videos on the channel if you're looking for things to do in Nassau. There are a lot of things that you can do that you're not necessarily going to get, ripped off, which is pretty easy to do in Nassau. Now, finally, let's talk about the ship itself and all the activities during our voyage. So this was billed as the world's biggest weekend. So there were specially made activities for this ship and this experience, which I thought was pretty cool. Didn't really know what to expect because, they haven't done them yet. This was the first sailing, so it was fun to experience that for the first time. They had activities and entertainment going 24/7. It's hard to be bored on this 3-night sailing. There's really just not enough time to do everything. Luckily, I have done a lot of things on Oasis class ships that are repeated on Utopia of the Seas, so I didn't really focus on those as much. But things that really stood out to me, the frat party that they had on the first evening, I believe, was really a lot of fun. They had beer pong going in the attic, which is the comedy club. The other thing I really loved was the silent disco toga party on the last evening. That was really a highlight for me. I thought that was really unique. They had 3 live DJs going with 3 different styles of music. It was really a fun vibe in there and really a lot of fun. The sail away parties were really high energy. I think a lot more high energy than other sail away parties that I've seen from Royal Caribbean. So overall, the entertainment was great. Of course, you got the diving show in the Aqua Theater, and that was, iterative. I think a lot of these kind of blend together for me, but they are really, really amazing to go witness. The ice skating show, always a favorite of mine. I always talk about it on every video. I just think that the ice skaters are just awesome. The story of these ice skating shows makes absolutely no sense, but I'm not really there for that. It's just all the flips and the spins and all that stuff. They're really awesome. And then the production show All In was really impressive to me. Story-wise, not so much, but all the music that they chose was great. It did seem like they just went to the most technological possible whiz bang gizmo that they could put into the theater and throw it into the show, which was awesome. They had drones, they had computerized lighting, they had awesome high def screens. It was really, really cool. So I don't think you should miss that because that is really, really cool. Now, the ship itself, there were a few differences here versus the Oasis class ships. I have sailed on almost all the Oasis class ships. I have not sailed on Harmony yet, so I can't compare to that, but I have sailed on all the more recent ones. For me, I think that Utopia of the Seas is like perfect. In terms of Oasis class ships, I think that they combine all the great things from all the other ships. They get rid of some things that drive me crazy, like the bionic bar. It was just a complete waste of space, and put in something awesome like a tiki bar pesky parrot with an animatronic parrot. That was really cool. They had tiki mugs that were custom to the ship. Really, really fun stuff. People were hanging dollar bills from the ceiling, much like a divey swim up bar in the British Virgin Islands. That was really, really fun. There are other things that they've changed around. They kind of made signature drinks a big thing, so each bar has its own signature drink. That was a complaint that I had, is that a lot of the menus were kind of the same across the board. So it really encourages you to go on bar crawls, go explore the ship. I love the opportunity to have some snow cones on the Wipeout bar, which is cool. Boozy snow cones, even. I do wish they would make it part of the beverage package, or at least, a diamond drink, because it's really just sugar and ice and water. But overall, really a nice addition there. I loved Azumi. I love the location of Azumi on this ship. It's absolutely gigantic. That's one big problem that they had, is just not enough space for hibachi, and then adding in the omakase experience, which I absolutely loved. I thought our waitress, Summer, was awesome. We had lots of sake, really, really good food for the price. So an all-inclusive, it's over $100 for the meal. Not the cheapest meal to get on board, but I thought that the experience overall really delivered. That was great. I love Giovanni's as well. Giovanni's in the new location, taking over from where Wonderland used to be, which Wonderland, not my favorite restaurant that Royal Caribbean's ever done. It's kind of a one and done for me. It was cool the first time. Second time, I was not as wowed, and the food wasn't nearly as good. So cool for Giovanni to take that over and then add in an outdoor deck space, which is where I dined. Really a nice experience, and the weather was nice and cool up there, which I was surprised by. So I think they hit a home run there. I have to give a shout out to the casino as well. The casino, one, paid me on this cruise, which was great, but also is very smoke-free. Like, I know it's not truly non-smoking. They do have a non-smoking room, but the main casino itself does a really, really good job of filtering out that smoke. I do think that this is something that every cruise ship should adopt if they are going to continue smoking, because it just gets really annoying on those older ships. So kudos to Royal Caribbean for putting in the money to do that air filtration, similar to, I think, what Las Vegas does. Wrapping things up, I really loved Utopia of the Seas. I think it's a perfect ship for a 3 or 4 night cruise. I do think that this will eventually do week-long sailings at some point, but I think Royal Caribbean is smartly competing with their competitors, are putting on brand new ships on these weekend excursions for those people that have never really cruised before, and I think it puts their best foot forward. So kudos Royal Caribbean. I think you knocked it out of the park with this one, and I'm excited for my next cruise on board. Thanks a lot for watching, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you liked this video, and we'll see you on the next one.